Culties?
No, that's not true. We are here back on Super Mader Brothers podcasting, streaming live here on Facebook and YouTube for July 18th, 2021. I'm Dave Mader, joined with my brother Jeff Mader. Let's get your title up there. And co-host Jaemeel Robinson with all the inside live feeds. We are talking week 2 here in the Big Brother 23 USA house as we continue our coverage and ongoing goodies here. Guys, how did you feel about tonight's episode and the start of the Kyland HOH reign? The queens are ruling and heads will fly.
Off with his head is what we're learning today.
Yeah. Kyland, he doesn't have to answer questions.
It's the French Revolution.
Yes. Let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake.
Sorry. Wow.
Kyland is also known as Robespierre.
Kyland. Yeah. Okay, a lot to break down here tonight, and we're gonna go through this and talk about how this is going. I didn't know what to expect out of this Kyland HOH. I was a bit surprised, quite frankly. He was a bit less susceptible to suggestion that I thought he may be. I thought he was actually pretty good with I don't know. That's just what I saw on the show tonight. But he seemed like I'm going to make up my own mind, and I thought it kind of made sense what happened here tonight as we saw Brittany and Frenchie end up on the block here by the end. Not only is Frenchie the pariah of the house in last week's HOH, but the Jokers did take out a member of his team and the Queens, and to put 2 Jokers up, especially one of them being Frenchie. I think this was like an easy thing for Kyland to do. It was a very logical step. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I was super impressed by his HOH. I loved the way he shut down Brittany, where he's like, listen, you don't get to dictate to me who you think I should put up. You tell, I'm not giving you information. You're giving me information. It's just like me and Amanda both looked at each other and we're just like, that was amazing. That was a really good answer. So I really liked Kyland's stuff. I have another LVP, if you will, of this episode. Claire?
Least valuable player? Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, Claire is the worst. Claire Bear is one of the worst DRs I've ever. Like, she's terrible in the DR.
She was the alternate, Jeff. What do you want?
I don't care. Like,
she looks frazzled. Like she's just like on her way down, always talking like she's on an angle. Like
they called her up from the minors
and overexcited about everything, and just like, oh my god, oh, like, and doing all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, what? This is not genuine. Like, this is not like you are overacting. It's like a bad actress.
Well, that's what happens when you get like, look, this is what happens when we get fans on the show, right? Sometimes people just want to perform. We're seeing Frenchie perform, and we're seeing Claire Bear kind of perform too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you see other people who just seem so like in control of themselves and their narrative. Like Tiffany is on another level. Like I'm super impressed by her. Like I'm not even talking about on the feeds, but even what they're presenting on the show, they're making her look like she's there for the long haul until something like she slips on a banana peel so big, right? She looks like she is set.
Oh yeah, well she's a big character on the show, right?
For me, I feel like I agree with you. I really like the way she's playing, and she seems really smart and everything, but I think she's overplaying. She's trying too hard at this Frenchie thing. That was going to happen anyway. Everybody, like, I understand, like the way the show told us that, like, because Tiffany went to Kyland was like, well, now this is the second person telling me that Frenchie's sketchy. And I think Kyland already knew Frenchie was sketchy. He didn't need Tiffany to tell him that. Maybe.
Well, didn't Kyland already have a big blow up, right, with Frenchie? So
he was also put on the block by Frenchie. So there was plenty of reason for him to put Frenchie on the block. No, am I wrong?
Yes, and no. Yes and no. Like you're still spot on. You can say that she's overplaying, but like, just like let's go with the Vegas thing. Sometimes when you have that hot hand, right, you're itching to just like, well, just one more. Like I just need to do one more, and then the table is set. One more, and the table is set. And there is thoughts that you let it ride. right? A little bit longer. You don't want to. You don't want to. Go home too soon. When I say go home, I mean like stop playing the hot hand that you have, right? You have to be smart about it. Now we can be talking about it next episode where, ooh, she should have not. She should have just did one more and then walk away, and she didn't, and now she's in trouble. We'll see. We'll see. I can absolutely understand what you're talking about.
Yeah,
with-
like just for me, it's I worry because I do like her and I do think she's going to be a really good player. But what she was doing with like Azza tonight, where they were pretending to like console each other in grief, and then they were then talking shit about people, that they're going to get caught. That's not going to last if they keep trying to like play that game.
What, the faking game?
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
faking, like she's consoling her and they're talking about something
Oh,
else.
here I got it. She's a good actor. Listen.
Really, I'm just faking this crap.
She's like, look, I got a 13-year-old at home. I am in no hurry. He's grown. He can stay by auntie. I'm here playing for my big brother live. I'm not weeping over any child. And she's right. But you're right. At the same time, Rob Cesternino would say this is trying to be a little bit too cute. Don't be too cute, right? Like if something important happened and you're having an intense conversation and you need to shut it down where people leave, you break out that move. But you frivolously using it all the time, that's not a good
sloppy.
plan.
That's sloppy. You're right. I agree. That's a good call.
Too obvious.
How about just starting at the top of the episode and maybe the first clip I pulled, Alyssa coming in from the HOH competition Thursday. That's how this episode starts, and it eventually ends up with our nominations, which I guess took place on Saturday or Friday, right, Jaemeel? In terms of the timeline,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Friday.
and Alyssa, she's pretty feeling it. I feel like we will hear this a lot.
I will never die. Alyssa is here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Queen. Even though you're a king.
Even so it goes into our Frenchie revolution that's happening right now.
Our Frenchie revolution. Poor guy. He's on the
Poor guy. Stop it.
No, he's not a poor guy. How did this happen?
Oh my God, I'm on the block.
He's a crazy person and he doesn't know how to play Big Brother. Even though he's watched enough of this, he knows everything he's doing is wrong. He's gonna go back when he gets out of the house and watch what he's doing and just be like mortified by his gameplay.
Some people
Yeah,
some people are good at watching the game and commenting it from the safety of their armchair, and when they're in the thick of things, they can't do it. They can't play that game. They can't. They're not Dan. Dan is Dan, right? Dr. Will is Dr. Will, right?
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Being a good liar is hard. And like tonight, like there was the scene where Tiffany was coming at Frenchie about who were the two people, how do you know, and why say that? And this is kind of what starts the whole episode, really, of why they're going after Frenchie and why Brent turns on him. There's a bunch of different things, but that's kind of like the catalyst, and Tiffany made that happen. Again, didn't really need to make that happen.
Here was Brent on Frenchie.
Frenchie had my trust. Now there's nothing left. Enough is enough. We want him out of the house. And don't worry, the slaughterhouse will be just fine without you, Frenchie. I promise you that.
Slaughterhouse is done. It was his name of the alliance. That's not going to be the name of the alliance going forward.
Why would you trust in that alliance?
It was a Frenchie alliance. Like why he's the pariah. So
okay. This is not a spoiler because this happened within this episode. The dude outed the alliance.
Yeah.
Like when he was saying, I'm out, right? He named the alliance and said it in front of people who weren't a part of the alliance.
Right.
Like
He's a loose cannon.
In
Like
fairness to Frenchie, at least he figured out he was going on the block. Brittany had no idea.
Brittany, I was a little bit shocked.
I absolutely don't think that I deserve to be nominated.
Wait,
I'm up here by association because Frenchie's my captain, and everybody knows that the people I'm loyal to, I stay loyal to.
There was only besides Frenchie, there were 3 other people that were going to get nominated. There were only 3.
Yeah, you could, well,
The three people would have been Whitney, Brent, or Brittany. Whitney, Brittany,
what?
Brent.
Why could you could put a Baza, right? You could put a
Why
Derek
would you
F.
put a Baza?
Well, you
Baza's in the
can.
cookout.
I'm just saying you can. You're saying there's only three
There's only three
eligible.
Like
You're
that's
saying
not-
there's only three like credible options or
Yeah.
like real world
that
options.
Kylan
I
would
get that.
actually nominate.
Well, Brittany doesn't get it.
It will.
Sorry. Wow.
Sorry.
What
Sorry.
alliance,
Wow.
what alliance is Brittany a part of? What has she done?
She wants it bad.
I want this so bad now.
So
Jameel,
yeah.
Jameel,
Yeah.
competitor to competitor. I would just really appreciate if you didn't put me on the block and you went after the showmances.
Yeah, it's just that's a competitor thing.
Competitor thing. Oh
Well,
my
she's
God.
mad at Kylan. She's gonna bring the fight to Kylan.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to potentially kick your ass in this comp and shut you up a little bit.
Is she gonna attack? Is she gonna attack?
She's gonna shut Kylan up a little bit.
Also, like when
Just a
alright,
little bit.
so, I mean, we kind of noticed this at the end of the episode when she she starts crying when she see like at first she's mad. You can see her face like when her face comes up on the memory wall when she gets nominated. She's mad, but then she starts crying immediately. Goes into the crying, and then we see her DR where you just played it, Dave, where she's pissed off and she's like telling Frenchie like telling Kylan like what the hell, I'm guilty by association. Were those like genuine tears? Was she? Come on,
I think it is. I think that she's the type of person where she needs an outlet, right? And her outlet is like sports or competition, and she's trapped in this house, and it's just boiling over. It's just
This is a social game. I don't think social games are she's like very good at like academia and at sports and competition, but this is different. This is a different skill set. I think she's decent at it, but
she's being challenged, and she does not have a direct way to attack this challenge.
Yeah, so she's gonna punch it.
She can't. She's a karate like whiz, but she can't do that with this. Like you can't, just punch the brick wall and hope that your fist won't break. Because that's what's going to happen in the Big Brother house. The more you try to punch that wall, we've seen it with Frenchie. I think Brittany will be the next Frenchie. I think she's going to lose her mind over the next week or two.
I'm packed full of punch.
Wouldn't you like if you were in a bad position and you're gonna get voted out, would you not try to egg her on? Like just like if you're going home, just you can just twist her knobs until she hits you, and then you're like, "Well, you're expelled. You're expelled."
Let's go, Brittany. Let's go.
Let's go.
I doubt she would, because anybody that studies martial arts at that level knows that they need to control themselves.
I don't know if it was a Zach Rance and he had his sets on her and he worked on her for weeks.
Okay.
All it takes is one slip. She would like to the producers, please let me hit him once. Just once. Just one, like one against the throat.
I have a couple of questions about tonight's episode for you guys.
Okay.
Jaemeel. Okay, this wild card competition promised to shake the house up. Did it deliver? On that promise?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I agree. Jeff, let's talk a little bit about I want to talk about the two Dereks. The first being Derek F. Derek F. His vote to save Travis he voted for Alyssa in the eviction. He says he did this for kicks because he knew it didn't matter. Was this a bad gameplay on his part?
Nope. Hinky votes are fine as long as you're smart enough to figure out how to lie about it and pin it on someone else or just deflect. It's great. It's a really smart thing to do, I think. I mean, I know people disagree with that, but unanimous votes are boring. Like even Kyle and Carrying, like who are the two votes and Frenchie and like they're all caring about these two. But they didn't matter. Like that's Derek F. literally knew that, and even Tiffany knew that. Like that it was never even close to Alyssa going home. Alyssa doesn't seem too upset about it. So why are they caring?
They tried to make a real thing of this about the beginning of the top of the episode. Jaemeel, to your knowledge, was this an actual heated discussion, or was this one of many heated discussions?
The issue with the Hinky voices is that they wanted to pin it on Derek X and have Derek X be the target. The moment that there was two votes,
do you mean Baby D?
Huh?
Do you mean Baby D?
I'm calling him DX. I'm no way of calling him Baby D.
X-Pac.
X-Pac. Look,
Baby D Pac.
The moment that there was two votes, like people are like, "Oh, they're trying to set him up." Right, and automatically all that like focus or the thought process of making him a target just disappeared, just automatically disappeared. So after that initial conversation, there was nothing. The problem coming from that Hickey vote is Derek F just wants to F with people. That's all he wants to do in house. That's his motivation, right? He just wants to put on a show.
He's a chaotic agent. He's a Loki.
And like the thing about doing that is it's fine if people don't know it's you doing it, and people know. That's
they know
problem.
It's him.
Yes.
They figured it out, of course. They always can sort that kind of stuff out, because the people who do that, like, oh, no one will know, but they figure it out because they talk about it and they go, it can only be him, because I don't talk to the so-and-so about that or whatever eventually.
Well, I mean, yeah. But like Tiffany was able to get away with it. Nobody really thought Tiffany did it, right?
Because Tiffany was at least, she's not telling anyone.
She got way ahead of it. She tried to get like ahead of it, and she tried to like position it, and it worked because Frenchie's not popular. She can make him look bad in the argument, which he already is in the wrong anyway. So she can.
Right. That's why like your question was like, was it a mistake to do a Hinky vote? That's not the mistake. The mistake is the way, like what Jaemeel just explained, that Derek F just wants to watch the world burn, and diamonds are the size of a tangerine.
Wait, that's what it is. He's Michael Caine in the Dark Knight.
He's he's the Joker. Yeah, he's on the Jokers. So
okay. Well, he burning down the forest. Okay.
Derek F doesn't want to win this game, or doesn't seem super focused on winning. So
what's his goal?
To make noise.
To make noise?
Yeah. He just wants chaos. He just wants to put on a good show.
I think so too. And for me, all the power to him. I would much rather that than a bunch of conservative players just trying to get into unanimous alliances. I would rather watch that. I'd rather watch the Derek F chaos stuff. I was saying, sorry, I was just going to make this one point that Amanda was like saying in the wild card competition how much she didn't want Frenchie to win, and I was cheering for Frenchie to win. I was like, please,
yeah, it would have messed up the entire week. It would have.
I had Frenchie in the draft, and I didn't even want it to happen. So.
Look, it's talking about playing safe versus like Agent of Chaos. One person is, Happy Gilmore, who's gonna like take that big swing, right? To try to see if they can get a hole in one, and then the other people are like in tin cup. They're gonna lay up, right? They're not gonna take that shot over the pond, right? They're gonna lay up and have they're gonna go for par. They're going to go for par if it means getting further in the game. You see it with Xavier. We see it with Azza. There's a lot of conservative players there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine to have them. It makes sense to have them. But you have to have a wild variety of individuals. You need a Kiefer who wants to win, but is going to, cut people down and do crazy stuff to get there.
Zach Rance.
If Zach Rance had a little bit more runaway, he could have won the game.
Yeah.
And people would have been happy to give him the money.
Oh, for sure. And if he had been just a little bit smarter with his alliances, especially with Frankie, I think, he would have done better.
If Frankie didn't have the competition fixed for him to win, he would have been gone.
Yeah, that was total bullshit. you know, and then Zach went home. So like that was So there's a bunch of things that happen in Big Brother sometimes that are out of the player's control. But for me, I would much rather watch Derek F entertain me. I'm not here to watch you cry and just be upset that you got put on the block or whatever.
You
know?
need those people.
I'm gorgeous.
You need those people too to react to it.
You
They're like,
do.
why are you being crazy? And they're like, they're the people running around trying to put up the fire while Derek F is just putting more gasoline wherever they turn their back.
He's like the Energizer.
I'm like an energy bunny.
He's an energy bunny. No, it's not trademarked.
The problem is when you have too many of the conservatives, right, and they vote out the wild card, and then it's just basically, business. It's a business meeting, and they shake hands, and the one person wins. That's boring.
Jaemeel, what did you think about the sort of the maybe in the mid part of this episode, or maybe like the first end of like the first third, I guess it was. We had a lot of conversations. We had like Xavier, Alyssa, and Christian I guess they're the kings, right? And then we also saw some queens chat because they were Tiffany and Claire were like safe because Kyland is HOH. So the show's trying to like present more like, as we've been talking about, more of these team meetings and really trying to push this team concept as something at least that the show would like us to think of actively, right?
Well, because team meetings are a thing. So before what we saw with Kylan having his individual talks, he actually had team meeting talks with each of the teams, right? And asked the team, he had specific questions that he asked them all. One of the questions were, is there anyone as a team you'd want to go up, to put up? Right? And for the most part, you get the same answers. Like, oh, all that matters is that, we're safe. We got your back. So Kyland started I'm not giving info. I just want to collect info. He started from there. He started it from there with the team meetings in general. And then he did it the same individually, where he met with every single person in the game and had one-on-one conversations where I wouldn't even say conversations. He had one-on-one questioning that was 5 minutes long. So someone stood outside the door, and when it was 5 minutes, knocked, and the next person is like, sorry, okay, you have to give me all the information in the 5 minutes.
Do you know what's really funny is, how often, so many times it's like when they nominate people, it's like, oh, well, I talked to everybody and they all said, put up you. And usually that's a lie. Not this time. Literally all said, put up Frenchie. And the one person who didn't was Brittany. And that's the other person who went up beside him. So,
Yep.
C'est la vie.
Jeff, what do you think about this team twist? Are you following it? Are you enjoying it as part of this season, or are you indifferent?
I like the wild card stuff. Like I like the option that Sarah Beth had tonight to leave her team to go to another team and then swap with someone else. That kind of stuff intrigues me.
If Frenchie had been given that option tonight, right? He might have taken it.
Oh yeah,
he might have. He's not really. Obviously Brittany's with him. Derek F, I don't know, and Azah, I don't know.
I don't think so. So why? Like, I don't know if he should be super loyal to the Jokers if it can give him a week of safety.
But he has Brittany. Like, it's not like he doesn't have something.
But he's the imminent target of the house, so him surviving for another week is imperative.
He would have done it. I'm not saying he wouldn't have done it. He would have done it.
He doesn't have much choice if he wants to stick around.
It would have sucked for him because the one ally he would have had to leave.
But at the same time, if like he's on the team with Kyland, right? And Kyland can't compete next week. But let's say he does. If he's on that team for the duration of when the team twist is still in effect, that means you have people like Kyland who cannot compete and win HOH because Frenchie will be safe.
Right. But imagine
you're working with your enemy, and your enemy's keeping you safe at the same time.
Yeah.
If Frenchie had won this tonight and he had make that choice, I'm pretty certain because of his somewhat contentious relationship with Tiffany, he might have swapped with Tiffany instead of Claire. Yes, right? In that choice, because he doesn't want to be on the tribe or the team here with Tiffany. Tiffany would then become a Joker, and now she would be with Derek F and Azah,
which she's already.
and Brittany.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a whole new team. That's a very different dynamic then. But then, and what
My question is, would he be? I guess he was allowed to, or Sarah Beth was allowed to pick anyone. Like, you didn't have to pick a girl because, like, now it doesn't matter. One person's been voted out, and now it doesn't matter. The teams don't need to be even anymore, right?
I wasn't that
what
clear about that.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered. I think like Sarah Beth could have picked any 3 queen that you wanted to, right? Like,
I don't know.
Not
That's a good
Kylan.
question.
She couldn't pick. No, she would have to go to her.
Yeah. Well, there's only 3 queens left.
Right.
So there was only 2 options. It was only Tiffany or Claire.
Right.
If-
So yeah. So that's right. So it had to be a girl. Say if Frenchie won, right? So yeah.
Which
so
which would mess up the gender splits in some of these teams, but they're already, now that they're uneven in some cases.
Or
with the queens.
would he be given that twist, and there would be another twist given specifically for him because there's a male? We only know the results. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what they had contingencies.
Yeah.
But
It's like if Frenchie or Brent win, read the second letter, not the first one. Or read the second paragraph.
right. There was a conversation tonight in the bathroom, Jaemeel, between Xavier and Kyland. I guess they were trading places as they were taking turns on the can. That they said that they are both Slaughterhouse and they are also Cookout together. So is this indicating to you that the Slaughterhouse, because Xavier is mentioning it, is actually still a thing, even though Frenchie may not be part of it?
I think that the Slaughterhouse is a facade. That the Cookhouse is the real alliance right now, and the
Cookout, not the
Cookout.
Cookhouse.
Sorry, the Cookout.
The cookout.
I love it though.
Right, the Cookout. That I could see. Like, I don't think the Slaughterhouse is just for appearances. That's what I think.
It's the bomb squad. It's
Yeah.
the bomb squad.
It's the bomb squad.
It is.
We're
Right.
faking it.
There's a I'll talk about the new alliance, but that'll be later. I think the important information is more solidarity between the two, because it doesn't even matter if if Slaughterhouse doesn't exist. All that what we're seeing is that Xavier says that he's going to protect Kylan, and Kylan trusts that. That's the important information to take from it. Slaughterhouse could come and go. They're already doubled up in alliances. That just means the conversation just carries over with the alliance that actually is working.
So, okay, well, maybe it's to be seen. Jeff, did you enjoy Kylan's HOH room tonight in terms of being introduced? This was the music.
Who wants to see my HOH room? Oh man.
They changed the part right after that though. Like, it's a little different now, which, you know what, they probably should change it every
Mixed
now
it
and
up,
again.
it's a
Then
remix.
people won't be able to do unless they have the beginning part at very least, so people can da 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 da.
Yeah. But the whole segment really bored me to tears. Does anyone agree?
Yep, I agreed. It was the worst part of the episode.
They need to stop. I don't care about the letter. Have the letter as a secret scene online. Like,
Yep. Shouldn't
that's
be on
it.
the show. Shouldn't be on the show.
Unless
It was very quick tonight, but it was too long. So.
unless they start doing something different, where it's like, hey, we're gonna put like art or stuff that you like something that is interesting at the very least. We glanced at the pictures for a couple of seconds, and that was good enough. There isn't anything different.
Dave, do you have Brent saying, "I love art"? Do you have that?
No, I think I only got Brent talking about how he used to go pee.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
That art line was classic. I like
The
that.
art line was so good. It was.
I was gonna pull it, but yeah, I know. And there was also Frenchie saying red flag, and I was like red rum, Frenchie. Yeah. This competition, normally they spray you with paint and shit like that when you get an answer wrong, but tonight it was your reward. What did you guys think of that twist?
I liked it. It was different.
I agree. I liked it too. What did you think about when Brent said they go, what is the color under green? And Brent's answer was green.
Yeah, it was great.
No,
How did they
that
screw up the
wasn't funny.
exclamation point? Like
That
the
wasn't
first
funny.
one, they all should have got it right. The first question, the exclamation point is blue. They all should have got that right. Only one person got it right.
Well, yeah. Did anyone notice like when Sarah Beth was doing her like her confessionals and things like that? She's like, "Ooh, I see all the colors as a forensic scientist. I look at them all, and I'm like, how is this?
sees all the
Is this like?
I bet she
yeah.
does.
What are you talking about? Like, it gives you powers like this, but I think you're also a pixie girl, so you could just go, "Ooh, yeah,
Manic place to go. The funny thing about Brent putting green isn't the fact that he got it green. Is Derek X exclaiming to the screen, "He put green," and pointing and laughing at it. That's what was great.
Yes.
That was great, I gotta say. Yeah, I think even though I was like, well, I would rather see. I think Frenchie's a lame duck, and I love ducks. I always see ducks going one way, other way, up, down, whatever he was saying tonight. I'm like, yes, I get it. Like, and Frenchie is really still trying to save his image in these confessionals, giving like his best.
Not working.
It's not enough.
Working, but
It's not working.
do you know what? His confessionals are still better than Claire's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one wants to talk to him.
I don't want to be
I'd
friends with
rather-
him. I don't want him
No,
to talk to me. I want nothing to do with you.
I know it's so harsh. You know, like he is a pariah. I get it, but I
Mhm.
mean, like it's amazing how unanimous it is. You know, like
At this point, he just got to go, right? Like, there's no point. They just, as quickly as possible, as
He's
humanely
Devin.
as possible.
he's Devin, Dave.
Unless he can go out and win that dang veto. He gives a warning here tonight.
They better hope and pray that I don't go get this veto.
They better hope and pray.
Well, I don't think they are.
It's a warning. It feels like a warning.
Yeah, both him and Brittany have a very similar reaction to not being in control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Brittany should have understand the temperature of the house and go, hey, as long as the things don't change, I'm
Right.
good.
Right. And
Like,
well,
I should-
that shows to me what you just said there, Jaemeel, how bad of a player Brittany is. Because if she can't tell that everybody unanimously does not like Frenchie, what does that say about her in the game?
Yeah.
Sorry. Wow.
What does it say about you? I don't know.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
Wow.
I mean, guys, really? How does she not notice that? Like, why? Like, she's just loyal no matter what. Is that
It's
her philosophy?
Well,
I'm up here by association because Frenchie's my captain, and everybody knows that the people I'm loyal to, I stay loyal to.
You should
Sorry. Wow.
You should stay loyal to the people that you're loyal to if they're being unloyal.
yeah.
It's
what Azah and who's the other person? Derek F. I'm pretty sure know what's going on with Frenchie, and I'm probably
yeah, I think Derek F knows that the what the writing on the wall is about Frenchie. Does he not, or is he still holding on to this final 2 deal with Frenchie? Like, that's a thing. Does Derek? Okay, then Derek F is just like good for him. He's entertaining on the show, but he is a clueless, dumb player. Like,
Yeah.
I am calling it now.
I think this whole
Okay.
game is bad, guys. The Joker team are a bunch of jokers. except
No,
Azah.
man, Azah.
They're a bunch of jokers.
Azah to the
Azah,
end.
yeah, as long as she can stay off of those penises,
No penis.
I love that. Bonk, bonk.
that's her one rule.
So made a rule in the house. No penis. Nothing.
Nothing.
Right, as long as she sticks to it, she's faking it with Tiffany. It's gonna be all right.
The nominations were like harmless. Like no one's gonna be like, if Brittany goes and complains to someone next week about the nominations, everyone's gonna go, you were never in danger. It was gonna be Frenchie. All right.
Get over yourself. We get it was stressful though.
Yes,
But that's fine.
it's gonna make her look bad if she complains about it constantly. So this is like a near perfect week. It could be for Kyland. Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
This is-
Okay. I don't have.
This is
Was
usually
it-
what you.
I don't have this as a soundbite. Here's where my next thing is the vibe on Frenchie and sort of the read sort of warranted, because Brent says in his confessional that if he was on the plane and Brent Champagne was a flight attendant, as he is in real life, he would have him police escort take Frenchie off the plane. Would that be warranted, or would that be excessive?
Yes.
Yes, that would be warranted. Yes.
Just
Okay,
imagine,
which brings
if we're putting this in plain terms, this is a man who goes, "Oh, you've upgraded me to first class. Thank you, man. I'm gonna do it. You know what? I'm gonna give up my second seat and give it to either a woman or give it a person of color." And then just as one of the persons of color decides to go sit there, it's like, "Nah, I'm switching things up." It's like, and he changes it, right? And then he's like, "Look at you, flight attendants, putting me in this position, wanting me to become a bad guy, right? You guys are the like." That's basically it. He says he's gonna
keep going.
do
No, this is good.
He's like, "You guys are the ones who are instituting the institutionalized of racism, and I'm against it. I'm absolutely against it. You know what? I'm gonna give up my first class seat and I'm gonna give it to one of these people of color." And then he walks back, picks a point, goes to take someone to the first class, and then at the last second is like, "Nah, you're trying to trick me. No, you putting me in that position. I heard what the flight attendant said. You were put here to trick me. No, it's not happening." Right?
Okay,
that's Frenchie.
Yeah, you're right. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
I think what would happen in that situation is he wouldn't be escorted off the plane, but he would be sent to the back of the plane in the worst seat, right by
next to the toilet that's broken.
That's what would happen in reality.
With the mental break preserving like straitjacket to keep him calm throughout the.
Yeah.
So his whole thing here, where he ran through the house, I don't even know what started it exactly, but it was like Brent, Hannah, and Whitney were sort of talking about him, and then he comes in, and then he's like, "It's over, Whitney," or the alliance, it's dead, or and this is part of the she was not too impressed with him tonight. But what was your just reaction, Jeff, to Frenchie in that whole him blowing up his game effectively tonight?
Oh yeah, like I just thought, I think he kind of already saw it coming, and there was in his mind, and he's probably right. There's no fixing what he did. He's not going to be able to come back from this. I think he knows it in his head. So when he heard like Kylan talk to him, and Kylan is a really sincere, soft-spoken guy, and I don't think he's a very deceitful guy. And so I think Frenchie was able to figure out, okay, I'm going up. And he already kind of knew that everybody, Tiffany, the attitude she was kind of coming at him with, and he knew people weren't on his side anymore. So I think he kind of just saw it coming, and he was like, kind of like blew up, kind of like what we saw Brittany do in the DR, but he did it in the house, which is way worse, So that was my reaction. What about you?
Well, I think that most of the house would think like, well, Kylan, you were put on the block by Frenchie, therefore the most logical target for you is Frenchie, unless you have something against somebody else in particular. Who is that? Which I don't think Kylan would have a specific answer to that, like a specific target other than Frenchie, right? Or unless someone else said so, but I don't think that it makes sense for the whole narrative of even the game, and they don't like being around him anymore, so they're like, let's get rid of him. It's also convenient to a lot of people who are maybe tired of living with Frenchie. There's a lot of people we don't even see on the show a lot, like Sarah Beth. We saw a fair bit because she's in the competition tonight, but like Alyssa, and there was not a lot of them in this episode.
Alyssa was no longer in the block, so she went back into the shadows.
She hid on a mattress somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, and this whole thing, the fight.
We finally got Hannah on the show as well, and
but most of Hannah is just like, ugh, Frenchie sucks, huh? Yeah. And everyone's like, yeah, and she's like, ugh, why is he still here? Why can't we vote him out yet?
Yeah,
that's Hannah.
And she's kind of like saying like basically he's a narcissist, and was like, she's basically psychoanalyzing him, and she's pretty much correct.
Yeah, she's like, I don't like this. I'm not enjoying this, and this is not my speed. And fair enough. French and Oh yeah, and what about this whole thing where like French wanted Brent to throw the competition to him tonight?
It wasn't just Brent. He asked Sarah.
Oh, he also wanted Sarah Beth to. He wanted just them to both because he thinks he runs the house, and that power trip he had from last week is still spinning.
His ego was so high last week that the fall was going to be harsh.
What would have happened if he wasn't the first HOH? Would we have seen a different Frenchie potentially,
Yes.
or was this?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes if you're an egomaniac, don't win the first HOH, please, for the love of God. Like, don't. Like, because and I'm not saying he's like this outside the house, but in a game, sometimes when you get power, it can trip you can get HOH-itis. It's happened to many players in Big Brother.
Yeah.
And especially so if you're that personality and you know that about yourself, avoid winning that first HOH. That's my suggestion.
It would have been, yeah. I guess there's different scenarios where Frenchie, maybe his team, maybe someone else on his team is the HOH and he's not, or if someone else was HOH, how socially would he have played? How would he have fit in or not? But we'll never know now. This is how it went for him.
Also, another thing he should have done for sure was fucking roll those dice. He should have rolled those dice.
He would have had 2 weeks of safety.
Yeah, he'd be safe this week. His whole team too. Brittany wouldn't be on the
That's
block
true.
if he rolled those dice.
But how much more of a power trip would he have been on for those 2 weeks?
Oh, it would have been awesome.
Especially for that first week,
Yeah,
knowing he's not.
He'd probably be go home week 3, right? Like, but the thing is, Dave, if he lost, like if he hadn't gotten the dice and not enrolled, and then Claire would have been HOH, that also probably would have been really good for him.
But think about it too. Like everyone wants to make these alliances, especially these multi-team alliances. And if there were 4 people from a particular team that were safe for 2 weeks, like wouldn't everybody want to be aligned with those people because they know that they'll have their numbers and their voting numbers for at least 3 weeks now?
But look,
so.
even if he didn't guarantee, let's say he took the deal and didn't get the, he didn't properly, get the die right, and his team isn't safe that week. It doesn't matter. He's HOH. As long as he doesn't put anyone up, they're fine. So it doesn't even matter if they lost their first week of safety. He's the HOH. It didn't matter, right? All that mattered was the second week. So he was playing with house money.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. So he should have went for the second week. It didn't matter. Right. And I'm glad that he didn't.
No, he would have lost to HOH to Claire had he not gotten it.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have transferred to the Queens. And the thing about that was
corrected.
like, I would only go for that dice thing if I was Frenchie in that situation. I would only do it if like the other 3 members of my team were like comfortable with it. But if their initial reaction is like, oh, I don't want to risk this first week of safety, I would say, well, then I don't want to do that to you. But if the 3 of them were like, we think you should go for it, then I would probably go for it.
I think he should have went for it regardless of his team. I don't think look where he is, Dave. It's it's easy to say in retrospect, but like literally, I don't think it was a win-win situation, him rolling the dice. If he doesn't win it, then Claire becomes HOH. All the heat's off him then. Claire's the HOH, all the power's in her hands. If he does win it, he's safe for
He'd
2
be
weeks.
looked at as a comp threat at worst. But
Oh yeah, worst. Yeah, but that's nothing compared to what he's looked at right now.
You won 2 out of 3 competitions, basically, right? As opposed to 3 out of 3 competitions. Like,
well, if you count the dice, it's the 4th competition, right?
No, it would have been this. It would have been the 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. The 3rd. Okay, so
So
you
it's
won
either
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3.
It was a win-win. No reason, like in retrospect, at the time, it looked like you're right, Dave. Oh, maybe my team doesn't want this. We're all getting to know each other. We don't know each other yet. What are we doing? I understand.
Yeah, I don't want to ruffle feathers.
But he should have ruffled feathers
in these first few seconds. Because I think you can't take that emotion out of like a new, but like especially these new players, like maybe experienced players, sure, they could go, okay, it doesn't matter so much. I ruffle feathers with my teammates because I probably know these people, or even if it was a split season, there's a good chance. But yeah, not in this case. It's like even a player like Frenchie, who is clearly not the best. I thought that it was logical, right? What he chose there. Based on the reactions, even just the way Derek Aff was like, no, don't do it.
It was not logical. It was emotional. Why did he decide not to roll the dice, Dave?
Well, the logic of reacting to other house guests' emotions.
What did he say? Why he didn't do it? remember?
Well, he wanted to see his kids. Yeah,
Exactly.
It was a fake. I thought it was a fake answer.
Well, maybe, but I think it was an emotional decision. I think it was, I've already won this. I'm going to get the HOH. I'm going to get all the power, right? And I don't want to risk that power. That's what he was. And it was, so to me, that's an emotional decision, not logical.
If he knew how he was going to be perceived, today in the house, I don't think he would have made that choice. Of course, he would need the safety now, but he thought, okay, I'll make good with these people, and I'll have all the alliances at the end of the first week. Versus if I have this automatic immunity for 2 weeks, I might just have that much more resentment against me. I don't know these people. Maybe we'll get along great, But now I've ruined it because I even if they know it's not really my fault, they're gonna be like, you were safe for 2 weeks and you acted like you owned the house. Because I think that there would just be that chip on people's shoulders about it.
Probably, yeah. They probably would go up on the block in week 3, but they could also win HOH in week 3.
Sure.
That team. So you know what I mean. So like, again, it's a win-win-win-win. There's no reason he shouldn't have rolled the dice in my mind.
Yeah, in retrospect, I agree, but at the time, it made complete sense to not to do it. So, Jaemeel, where do you stand on this? Where would retrospect or devil's advocate?
I stated the information wrong, but I still would have rolled the die.
Okay. What else in tonight's competition? Did you like Sarah Beth's confessionals in the competition, the wildcard competition, where she said she does not like goopy stuff?
Did you not get that voice line?
Stuff. I didn't go get it. No, I was.
You don't think you don't think Sarah Beth's long for this game that you would keep it? Because I think that's gold.
I wanted it, but hey, there's only 30 minutes before when the episode ends and when we go live, so I have to go. I gotta get I can get a few, but I can't get the whole thing. I can go back and get it, but I never will. I never look back. Don't look back with anger. I always said.
I heard you say.
I heard you say.
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't anything.
Are you enjoying her? Do you like her more now?
I think she's
Jaemeel?
really good in the confessionals.
Jeff, not your
Jeff?
answer, Jaemeel. Yes, she's fine. She's fine, and she's an interesting character.
Okay. She's growing on you?
Sure.
Do you think she, for 1 minute, considered switching tonight?
No. Also, I think, okay, the scene before she decided to go play this competition was very important. Because she basically said to her team, I'm going to do this. And everyone was like, perfect, So she's really ingratiating herself with her team, which I didn't expect.
She wanted to make sure Frenchie went. She knew that she could be a target if Frenchie was safe, or she's like, what do I go in this and try to beat him? Which was smart. I like the guts.
She did not think that she was going to be a target. Her number one ally is Kyland in this game.
Okay. Then maybe she wants to help Kyland's agenda.
Yeah, she wants Frenchie gone.
She wants Frenchie gone. Okay. But not because she's worried about herself. Okay.
No,
gotcha.
He just needs to be.
And then what do you think? What do you think with the Aces? The team with Brent and Whitney and who else is on this team? Hold on, I have it here. The Aces, Brent, Whitney, and Hannah's there, and don't forget about Baby D, DX. So this team keeps leaving it to chance. They keep putting a random name in. DX was not eligible though for this, right? He couldn't. He's already played in this last week.
Yep.
And Brent,
what do you think of that strategy, Jeff?
I mean, I kind of here's the deal. It's not a strategy. I don't think. I think it's basically everybody saying, "Well, I don't want to do it because I don't really feel like I'm in danger," and so they go, "Well, then if nobody's volunteering, we have to draw." That's what's happening. I think.
Okay, but on the other teams, there usually is somebody else. In the 2 times we've done this before, there's usually somebody volunteering to do it.
Yep.
Yeah,
just this team does wants to keep saving it. Each player wants to save it because they're not in any heat. The Aces team is really lying low. Nobody's coming after them. Maybe right now, as far as the show has told me, they're pretty safe. So yeah.
Maybe not Brent. We'll see what Brent's fate will long term is. He's not on the block, so
yeah.
He's
but
doing
everyone
better
knew
than,
that he was
Frenchie.
Frenchie's lieutenant.
Yeah, but he's somehow he escapes this. He's not. He might be a renom option though.
Well, I think it was very important what if he had lied to Kyland, he would have been on the block beside Frenchie.
It's
Like
possible.
not lied to him, but if he had told him that if he had not said Frenchie, like put Frenchie on the block, right? If he had not done that, I think it would have been him on the block, not Brittany.
Yeah,
Sure.
maybe. Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
the worry that Brent could win a veto and then take
Frenchie off.
Frenchie
But
off.
but again, like that's why it was very important, I think, for Brent to tell Kylan that like he wants him gone too. You know, took very
True.
good strategy, very smart.
True.
It was a hard thing to do too, like to turn on the guy you were so allied with in the week one, and then I mean Frenchie did it to himself, and it's not like nobody would say Brent's disloyal for doing that, right?
Very
So
true.
yeah, so
Does this remind you of when Paul Lee turned on Paulie Calafiore? Remember that?
No,
Okay.
not really. Because I don't
Okay.
think Paulie Calafiore was as ridiculous as Frenchie is. Which is saying something, because these boys, you know, I need my meat.
Yeah.
I don't like meatheads.
Right, he doesn't like meatheads, so yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
boy needs his meat.
A meathead to me is somebody that's got them big old jacked up muscles, like cocky attitude, and like just suave with the ladies.
Suave. You don't like
So that's
that.
Brent Champagne. That's literally
Yeah.
Brent Champagne.
Yeah.
And you know, you're basically saying, oh well, no,
Not that guy.
I need
not
this
him.
guy. No, he's okay. That guy with the muscles is all right. He's a meathead, but he's my meathead.
He's my meathead.
I don't like meatheads.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
So, who else? Okay, is that about the episode? Was there anything else in this episode worth noting?
Other than no, not really. Other than the noms and what happened after that, and everybody crying. Like everybody was crying during the credits, which is I don't know if that.
Yeah,
was
it was a
from the
very
live
somber
feeds.
credits. Why do you think
Yeah.
it was so somber, Jaemeel?
No clue.
I think
It was kind of a long credits to end the
He
episode. I don't
knows,
think that
but we need to hear Ruafu, Dave.
we hear. Okay, let's get to the Ruafu. Let's get to the spoilers. If you're leaving us here at this section of the show, make sure to check out our other channels and content. Here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, we've also been covering Marvel Cinematic Universe, and movies and some of these streaming television shows from Disney Plus, including last night we talked about Loki for over 3 hours, talking about that whole first season, breaking it all down and analyzing it in the greater context of the universe and the questions we had and different things. That was Jaemeel, Jeff, and I last night. Plus, we also did Black Widow with Ashley Millard over a week ago, as well as like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision. And we do all kinds of other things. But Big Brother is one of our things. We also did Big Brother Canada 9 earlier this year. If you haven't checked that out, we have a podcast series for that. And also our other channel, including Trivial Debates, which is our monthly channel where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. Check out next Sunday, July 25th in the morning, where we have Mike O'Connor hosting this episode. Jeff, you're going to be one of the contestants going against Jody Simpson and Adam Woodward. It's very exciting. We got some pretty official. We got questions here, like what was the worst movie? What is the worst movie adaptation of a comic book?
Ooh. Zip.
What is the best Ken Burns documentary?
Zip.
We got all kinds of interesting and exciting debates coming at you in just a week's time here on Trivial Debates, plus our other channels called Live Long In Podcast, where we talk about Star Trek every week. On Monday nights, we talk about Star Trek, the original series. Tomorrow night, we're watching That Which Survives at 8 p.m. with my dad, or our dad, Ted. And he also says he wants now to watch Star Trek, The Next Generation as a podcast after this is over. That's his new request. He wants to sign up for a 3.5-year journey to watch that.
You sure he doesn't want to do Voyager too?
The fact that we can even get him to watch Next Gen and like in order, he's like, I want to watch them in order too.
Ooh.
I'm like, okay. I was like, it's not going to get good until like, sort of season 3, but let's do it.
Okay.
At least, but he won't know the difference. He won't know how good it gets. So at least there's that. And then also on Tuesday nights, we talk about Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where Jeff and I and Jaemeel and the Millards and many others along the way who have been joining us for this our 3.5-year journey to watch Deep Space Nine, because even though that comes after, we started with that one. And because it's one of our favorites. Jeff, how are you enjoying that over there? We're talking about Dax tomorrow night. Or no, Tuesday night.
How am I feeling about it? I'm ready to get to full hawk, and that's all I have to say about
You're ready to get a full hawk? We're on the eve of full hawk. He's about to Commander Cisco is about to get promoted to Captain Cisco. Okay, let's get to spoilers and into our next section. See you there, and let's as you can see, we do mix this with Star Trek, as we have our F. Murray Abrams from Star Trek's Insurrection.
Okay, so
Jaemeel, you're the man on the hot seat. You got to tell us what's happening in this house.
So Frenchie wanted everyone to throw it to him, as we've as I mentioned during the podcast. But afterwards, he told he was telling people that he threw it to Sarah Beth. Right, so that didn't really, people who were watching it, they weren't they're not believing
Frenchie
what they saw.
claimed on the feeds that he threw this to Sarah Beth.
Yes, he did.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah. So Sarah Beth told the Kings that Frenchie outed the slaughterhouse, and and then had conversations with the 3 members of the team who are in the slaughterhouse. Right. So when people who are outside of the actual alliance are questioning the team about that alliance, that alliance is dead. Part of the whole part of being an alliance is also having unsure numbers, where people don't know where all the bodies are, right? So you're able to consolidate information.
Once this comes to you, there's an alliance out there, and it's your alliance, and you hear the name, and especially if they don't know you're in it yet, is now.
But now you have people being questioned directly. That's an issue.
Yeah,
right?
if you're like a Hannah, I think she wasn't in the slaughterhouse, right?
Yeah, Hannah wasn't in the slaughterhouse.
And you find out that there was this 8-person alliance and you weren't in it.
Especially if it's with people you're close to, or you think you're close to.
Yeah, I'm going to be interrogating every single one of those people. All, maybe not all the time, but especially when I first find out, and I will make them uncomfortable, and I'll make sure that their alliance that they either want to team up with me in the future, or that this alliance gets destroyed. I don't know. However you have to do that, but if I'm not in it, that would be my goal. Right? It has to be, because if you allow that big alliance to keep going, you're just going to get picked off down the road.
Yep. Tiffany putting in work. She is trying to broker a deal where the Kings and Queens team up to make an alliance. Kings and Queens plus Derek X as a team.
What the French?
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Okay, Kings and Queens. Okay, so that plus, why is Derek F getting to come along? Let's see how this works.
Because Derek X gonna give it to you.
Kings are okay. So you got Christian, Alyssa, you got Xavier and Sarah Beth, and over on the Queens, you have the remnants of Claire, Kyland, and Tiffany, and then also Derek F. But not Azah. She doesn't get to come along. She's
because she doesn't need Azah to be in that group, because Azah's already in the cookhouse.
I know, but it's every
now. Look, Jeff, you've infected me with the cookhouse.
Cookhouse or cookout.
It's cookhouse.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you don't include Azah, then the cookout is not united within this Kings and Queens plus Derek F alliance.
They don't need to be.
Well, I think Azah might feel differently, but if she's comfortable with it, then fine.
Yeah,
I say.
Right.
Okay, what else is happening?
So Frenchie has practically packed his bags. Asked that no one do any mean goodbye messages, as his kids will be watching.
Has the veto been played yet?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
Supposedly Frenchie is thinking of quitting because he doesn't want to be stuck in the sequester if there is a battle back.
Okay. I don't think there is one, right?
Well, not including Travis. Travis has already hit Like he's hit.
Okay, so
like,
if Travis is hit the media and he's not in sequester, then we would assume that the same would apply to Frenchie. It's not. We can't 100% guarantee that, but it's likely that that's not the case.
So veto players: Claire, Derek X, Alyssa, Brittany, Frenchie, and Kylan. Right? Who do you think has won? Claire, Derek X, Alyssa, Brittany, Frenchie, or Kylan?
I'm going Baby D.
Baby D. Okay, DX. What do you say, Jeff?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe the same. I'll probably go the same.
He's going
Derek
Baby
X?
D.
Two in a row?
Yeah, I'll probably go Baby D as well.
He's going. He's the king of the veto. Whatever he does, he's the best at it. He hold us.
I could see Frenchie winning it though. Honestly, like he showed.
Frenchie doesn't win it. Frenchie doesn't win it. Frenchie does not win it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm taking it's not DX.
All right, Brittany.
so.
I'll give it Brittany won it. That's what I think.
Okay. I'm just astounded that you guys like initially thought that Derek would give it do it twice, but he did. DX won.
He did do it. Yes,
he did do it.
Yeah.
So everything I do, I try to be the best at it.
He's got exactly. There you go. See, yeah, that's hilarious.
So veto ceremony has not happened, but I kind of buried the lead with how Frenchie reacted to it. Once he did not win, he's like packed his bags. He's like,
really?
This is Saturday. This is Saturday. Eviction isn't until Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a long time from now.
He's not even campaigning. He might. Why does he just self-evict?
Well, that's what he's thinking of doing.
Yeah.
Okay, but then what? Okay, then what do you do Thursday this week?
If I was Big Brother, I would get a new head of household.
Yeah, just do head of household. Don't do eviction. Like there's no eviction.
You don't even do it.
We're on a schedule here, people. We can't just be speeding things up and moving things ahead of week.
Why not? All this information from now until like eviction ceremony occurs, right? That's Wednesday episode. So let's say they do it tomorrow morning. That's Wednesday's episode. They have from Monday afternoon all the way till Thursday for the beginning of the Thursday thing.
Right.
If you do your head of household thing, and then you can also you can start the nomination the noms as well.
I guess so, but
you do
don't they have this
too. You can.
Well, yeah, they're always gonna have like a buyback week or some kind of thing like that. So
that's not gonna be till later. I think
and they can skip and they can choose to skip it if they want to speed things up or whatever. I suppose, right?
Yeah. Well, you just add one more person to the buyback.
Right, or you just don't do it just because you had to deal with this. If Frenchie does self-evict,
maybe, yeah.
But is self like they won't pay him, right? Or he'll be penalized for doing such a thing.
What stipend is he getting? What stipend?
Well, I don't know. Like he's been on the show for 2 weeks, so he gets something.
That's all you
right?
getting, and then you don't even need to give it to him.
Yeah,
I give it to him. The dude quit. He broke the contract.
Yeah, he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't quit yet, right?
Yeah, that's if he does.
Do you think he will?
I don't think so. He like you already know how quitters are looked at in terms of Big Brother. You're not gonna quit.
Well, I didn't even pull it as a clip because he said I never quit anything in my life. He said that tonight on the show.
You're also a liar, Loki. Talkie.
Yeah,
he's a liar. Like, why would you even worry about that?
Oh my God! I'm on the block.
I'm on the block. Oh,
how did this happen? How did I get here? I don't get. So weird.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, well, yeah. I imagine that's all there is to it. Are there any other alliances forming or anything exciting there? Any new friendships?
Sure.
You mentioned the Kings and Queens. That's the break.
And Derek
that's
X.
the big one.
Yeah.
And Derek X being the
French kisses
king of the veto.
Isn't a thing. French kisses isn't a thing.
We kind of knew French kisses wasn't a thing. Is there any kind of all girls alliance minus Frenchie? Is there just kisses?
Jackpot You got jackpot. So jackpot, the cookout.
What's jackpot?
Jackpot is Sarah Beth. Oh, shoot, I always forget this one because they don't wield like any like power consistently, so that's why you like. Oh, when Sarah Beth won, there was a jackpot meaning. Oh, sorry. Oh, I feel bad now that I didn't have it immediately up.
It's okay. No. Don't feel
No,
bad.
it's unacceptable.
It was a random question. You can't predict what I'm going to throw at you here. Like, what's
Yes.
all alliances? Who's in the jackpot, Jaemeel? I have to know.
I have to be immediately up. Okay, there you go. Okay, in the jackpot, it is Claire, Tiffany, and Sarah Beth.
Claire, Tiffany, Sarah Beth. Okay, I could see that lasting into jury or something like that.
Oh yeah, especially, yeah. There's also another alliance called the Kingslayers as well, all girl alliance.
Does it have any members of the Kings who are girls, like Alyssa?
So the Kingslayers consist of Tiffany, Claire,
Okay.
Azah, and Brittany.
So no Alyssa.
No Alyssa. In addition, Hannah is is aware of the cookout, and she's gonna practically be a member.
Who will be a member of the cookout? Hannah. They're inducting Hannah. They're saying,
Like
okay,
she's aware. If you are aware of the alliance,
Mhm.
right, and you're saying you're gonna work with the individuals in the alliance, you're practically in the alliance.
But not by name.
How comfortable is Sarah Beth right now?
Sarah Beth is pretty comfortable. She's tight with
what alliance is she in? Like like that's my question.
She's in that.
She's in jackpot. She's heavily tied with Tiffany and Kyland.
Right, but Tiffany and Kylan are in this other alliance without Sarah Beth. Like Sarah Beth's like not with them, like, so my question is like, how solidified is she? Is she going to be picked off later down the road when the cookout says, okay, all right, we have to start taking out people that are in our
Sarah
other
Beth's
alliances?
on the menu tonight at the cookout.
Yeah.
I think there's just way too many people ahead of Sarah Beth that isn't even an option.
Right.
Kylan and Sarah Beth have been the closest aligned for each other, like actively sharing information. Like outside, the only thing that Kylan has not shared with Sarah Beth is the cookout.
It seems like
how he gave that information, right? Kylan knew about French kisses. Kylan knew about. Did he know about sirens? But I don't think sirens are a thing anymore.
It seems like the Aces are the least connected team. Like this, they seem like that they're maybe the people considered the threats. If you think about like after Frenchie's gone, is Brent Champagne a target? Is Derek X a target? Is Whitney a target? Hannah.
It's Brittany and Brent. Sorry, it's Whitney and Brent.
Whitney and Brent from that team. DX is not as
because he's going to be with the super group, the new big alliance.
The new Slaughterhouse?
No, they're probably not going to use that branding.
Do you think they should be called like some kind of vegan grow up instead?
No,
and be like the opposite of Frenchie. Like they're going to be more.
They'll probably name
humane?
themselves like the Kingdom or something. Or
Kingdom.
Wait, what did I hear? Deuces. I heard possibly.
Deuces.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I think they might want to rethink that because. Yeah.
Come on, all the toilet humor that they can do with it.
What's wrong with Jax?
Why
I guess
would
Jackpot. Jackpot already took that.
Yeah. Why would the Kings and Queens like?
Okay, what about clubs or spades or diamonds or something like that?
That's probably already taken somehow.
Trademarked.
Maybe.
Okay. I hear you. Okay. All right. Any other news?
That's really it. That's really it.
All right. Well, thank you, Jaemeel. Thank you for keeping track of all that and bringing that to us here on the podcast. We got a question here. Is the term cookout used in Canada
Yes.
in the black community?
Yes.
Jaemeel confirming here. Yes, it is a thing.
The cookout does exist in the black community. The black community up here in Canada.
It transcends that invisible line in our that divides our continent. Yes. Well, thank you everyone for listening and tuning in tonight. And make sure to check us out on Wednesday and Thursdays. We'll be back to cover the veto and the eviction for week 2. Let's get some Julie in here, and I'll make sure let's time this right. Thank you, Jaemeel. Thank you, Jeff. And we'll be back before you know it. And remember,
from outside the Big Brother house, I'm Julie.